Yeah.
One more. Is the only way to send a public notice to the newspaper, or is there any other way?
That's the way the world recognizes as a legitimate, is to go through. It's been around for like thousands of years. Yeah, you watch, I don't care if you're watching the movie of Moses, you see them chiseling in the stone tablet. You know, I don't care where you go, I don't care if you do the Hammurabi Code, it's on some sort of, what was that, obelisk when you first walk into the city. No matter, it's always carved into something, it's always posted somewhere. It's like it says post no bills. That's where the bill is. When you're making a declaration, it's called a bill. You're making a statement, so it says post no bills, because people used to just stick notices instead of spending money like going into newspapers. They would just stick it on walls. So like I said, that's where you see the stuff where it says post no bills. That's how people do it.
You can use the cheapest paper.
Yeah, you can use the cheapest paper on the planet. It doesn't matter.
Like,
you know,
like the local trader, one of the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the best thing that I would do is I'd go down to the county clerk's office and say, what do you accept as notice? What do you accept? What does the county recognize as a legitimate, bona fide notice to the world?
Here in Fairfax, they use the most obscure paper possible.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But the best way to do it is to ask the court clerk, what does she recognize, or what does the county recognize as a bona fide notice to the world? Because, like I said, when I say that to people, when I say a petite order, it just means that there's nobody signed it, so the world hasn't had access to the court order yet. It's petite order. But when there's actually an order to be a legitimate bona fide order, it has to be sealed by the court clerks, you know, through her office, and that somebody has to sign it, like on the judges, and somebody in a black robe has to sign it. That becomes like, say, that would be like a legitimate bona fide order, because now the world is allowed to take notice of this order. Because if it's not sealed and stamped by the court clerk, and it's not signed by a judge, it's not an order, it's a petite order. It's almost there. You almost got the order. And like I said, and also a petite order is where it's say I was going against Jonathan in court, and Jonathan uttered out something that was like, oh my God, I didn't know he also did that to me. And it's like, Judge, I'd like to order that against Jonathan as well, the shit that he just came out of his mouth. And then the judge would say, grant.
He's charging you for uttering.
Well, that's because he let me, like I said, sometimes when people talk in court, all of a sudden they let the cat out of the bag and they say things that they really shouldn't have said. So I say to the judge, oh, not only do I want you to, the order that I placed before the court to be granted, I want this attached to the order as well. I want additional compensation because this was just brought to my attention that this guy screwed me here as well. You heard him say it, right? Yeah, okay. The judge is going to grant you a petite order. See, so that's also a way of looking at a petite order like that. Something that comes up in open court, and then all of a sudden you say, hey, look, whoa, I was only ordering this. Now this just came to light in open court. Now I'd like to amend my order, I'd like to make an addendum. I'd like to add this and an additional compensation. I'd like this to also reflect the order of this court should also reflect what he just said.